and a friend of mine, Gus. Say hello, Gus.
Hello.
I'm
here.
going to be playing some Stellaris Modded. The playlist will be in the description of the YouTube video. I'm just too lazy to put it here, sorry. And it's like 26 mods, mostly content changing ones. And we are just going to have a game. If this will load up.
No, it's not going to load up. It's Paradox. It takes 10 years.
Yeah, I realize that. Oh, but I had loaded several times today before now. Very pretty loading pictures.
Oh, you'll be proud of me. I sent Paradox an email complaining about the fact that when it says 100%, I demand it that it loads me into the game, that I don't sit there for another 5 minutes. I didn't say that. I basically got my grandmother to write it in political speech, so it's all nice and polite and mannerful, of course. But I basically sent a very strong-worded email to them, demanding them to fix it.
Strong-worded from you. That could mean many things. I
got my grandmother to
took your pen away
from
you.
Yeah, she corrected the grammar and corrected the wording of the situation. Because apparently putting FU in 29 times in one sentence is apparently not the way to go forward.
Yeah, no, it is not. I mean, part of that is probably also your hardware. So, you might want to think about that. But yes. I mean, and Stellaris is doing that custodian initiative thing. I think they said they're going to have an update once a month when they get back from their big summer vacation.
You mean their vacation was estimated to last 10 years?
No, it's only 3 months.
Same difference.
Lobby is up.
Yay.
Let me know if you want to change what
you know I only care about one setting, and that's perfect. Everything else to me is just whatever. Like, that's actually the only thing. Every multiplayer I join in, if I don't know the host and I see it's not on that, I will immediately leave the lobby. It's like, nope, not doing this.
I mean, I thought you had 2. There's Spiral, which you really love. And there is also hyperlink density.
No, it's like, that's like, okay, there is like a set preference I have, but like what I'm saying is normally I don't actually, it's literally only the hyperlane, because everything else I can work around. It's just when you have people what put hyperlane to like 3.5 and you spawn in with like a spider web of everywhere's a hyperlane to you, you're just sat there, I'm sat there like, no. Right. Yeah, I'm sorry, quickly, I'm just changing something.
Your build. Okay.
Yes, I am. Because I might have come across.
Yeah. You'll realize very quickly that Ghost has only one real build, and that is Paranoid Isolationist. Whereas
here's the question. See, here's the question. I have been experimenting with Resistance Republic, but because you've just mentioned that, where are they? Is that Shadow Covenant? Yes, there they are. Look at them. Look at their adorable faces. It's like they're screaming.
The whole time. It didn't flip for me.
Oh no. That's the Paranoid Isolationist, the like plant. The fungi what actually looks more like a plant than most plantoids do.
So as we load up, you might see some of the mods that I am running, but again, the description will have the link.
See, this is generally why I only want you to host.
Because you get good spawns. And
Yeah, like you can see, oh, it's just randomly generated. it might be, like you said, it's totally randomly generated, but when you host, I always get it. So...
Have you already got the thing?
What thing?
The worm.
Oh! We haven't even started the game. Okay, even if I got it this fast, then I would even call myself a hacker at this point.
So, in all of our games in which we have had many, Ghost seems to attract the worm. And from what he says, no, he is not cheating it or spamming it, unlike others in my group you will get to know at some point.
See, the worm loves us, and we love it. Like, no, it does make me laugh when the others are sat there spamming science ships, like, over and over a black hole. I literally enter a black hole for the first time, Horizon Signal, and I'm sat there laughing to myself like, it loves us, and it's waiting for us out there.
It does. It loves you specifically.
Yeah, but that's, like, I'm the most important thing, so that's really all what matters, isn't it?
Of course, yes. I am a materialist this game, so beep bop boop.
Boo! Boo!
For some reason, I have 10 extra mineral deposits in my home system, so, you know, I'm happy.
That is very nice. But, ooh! Okay, you have that, I have gas in my home system.
The Ascension perk madness.
Oh, it's glorious, like, I love it, like... Okay, I'll be brutally honest, like, it literally comes down to the players you are playing with, like... If you have a full lobby of, like, people who are absolutely chill, they want to... The problem is you have to get everyone wanting the roleplay and not care about winning. And then you can have literally the most insane and most funniest RP games of your life.
We've had several.
Vault is still the best RP. Like, hands down, Vault wins that.
Oh yeah, obviously. Volt is our... he's from Switzerland, but I want to say he's German. I know he's from Switzerland, but... and he usually plays Catholic Catholicism or communism. And he can really dig deep and get the accent and everything.
That moment where, what's it called, you've played so many games of Vault that when you're at work you accidentally scream, like when he's screaming about the Pope and everyone's looking at you and you're like, ah! I'm in danger! But for the people on the stream who have never played this mod list, and you want to try Paranoid Isolationist, I would 100% recommend it, but immediately you must accept the fact that everyone hates you and everyone wants to most likely kill you.
And it's kind of boring for the expansionist militarist people, because, like, you can't declare war. It's very much role-play focused.
Like, the only way you can really shift out of it, because of the what's called ethics attraction bonuses are legitimately insane on Paranoid Isolationist. If you play Materialist with this, it's near enough impossible to get out before the game ends. The only way you can realistically get out of Paranoid Isolationist is if you go through the Shroud and get the event where you can basically say, let our Emperor's reign reach into infinity or something. What then changes your ethics.
I mean, so far we don't have any viewers, so sad face.
Ah, but still, for the people who come back to watch this,
Yeah.
not that they try and then they sat there going, wait, why can I not do anything? It's like, yeah, on a political scale, you just sat there looking at everyone and just going, no. Don't you love it when the game just gives you 3,000 unity?
I mean, yeah, 3,000 unity is nice. I won't be streaming every game with these wackos because, you know, we gotta let our craziness out sometimes, but I will be streaming some of these games with my varied friends all across the world, actually. I'll probably stream our public game when we're trying to get new folks.
Oh yeah, that would be brilliant. Excuse me, no!
No, what?
This is not acceptable.
Oh shoot, I didn't turn the difficulty back up. Oh well. Alright,
What difficulty is it on?
Benson.
Okay, let's just restart, like, legit.
Okay. Are you sure? Because I know you like your setting, or your start.
Yeah, but okay, I have a like god tier start with an AI what's going to be absolutely incompetent where I can literally just basically bully. This is going to just turn into me having a power trip. Like, let's not go there. Huh?
The new lobby is up.
Oh, I'm still in that game. It was still running for me. I'm joining.
Great.
There's apparently now a ghost host what's taken over your lobby. Not concerning.
I'm gonna do this, and since I am host, and no one else is here, and you know how I play robot, it will be fine. So, the reason it was on Ensign earlier is we were trying out the Star Tech mod, which is the kind of more tamer version of StarNet. And, yeah, let's just say it wasn't that tame. There was
I had a brilliant idea. What happens if we added both of those mods at the same time? StarNet and Star Sky, or whatever it was called.
I don't think anything, because it's the same developer. So I think it's just like a different version of the same mod.
This is where we find the AI what literally at 5 years in a game has 500k fleets running around. It's like, what have we created? It is beautiful. But no, definitely recommend if you like a challenge.
Yeah, I think the game we had, it was on Commodore, and fleets had 120k, what, 70 years in?
Oh no, by 70 years in, like, the average AI had about 120 to 150k.
Yeah.
And you're just sat there looking at them like, here, have 10 more envoys, because we are going to be best of friends!
Alright, my new start is not as good as my old one.
I always seem to get the same start, just a different place in the galaxy. And this is why I always want you to host games, because totally not, what's it called, totally balanced. Totally for balancing reasoning, not for my own personal gain.
Right. And the thing is, Wild, I think, says he gets awful starts sometimes. So it's kind of like catch-22.
So, I have realized, and it's not 100%, but especially with my empire, certain empires, like certain ethics and origins tend to always start with like the same like area, star, planets around them, where other origins will just start with like really... Ooh, hello. Me very, very happy. I found a nice shiny thing in space. Oh my god. The one thing this build's also really cracked on is Unity. Like, this build just, like...
Yeah, you just, like, shoot out Unity.
So when they turn Unity to Cap, so you need Unity for Cap, my empire is just going to be, like, it's literally just going to be the whole galaxy, paranoid isolation. It's like, why are you lot not expanding? Everyone else like, I don't have enough Unity. Me sat there like, oh, I'm still making 1,000 Unity.
Perfect.
So me and 20 had like a little arms race. But not with weapons, who could get the most Unity, and by the end of it we had literally 6 whole planets just full of shrines. That's all what was on the planet. That is true dedication to the cause.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how I should feel about the whole Unity all thing they're doing. Could be good, could be terrible.
See, the only thing I can see is... Because... The one thing I can see this going negatively is by it's just going to encourage tech rushes. It's literally just going to encourage the meta, because you stay tiny, only a few planets, you rush technology, you don't need to expand, so you won't need to waste things on Unity, where players who like to just like King, who just wants to basically go, everything is mine. He's going to really suffer by this, like he's going to get punished by this quite badly.
Yeah.
Like he's only just starting to build admin buildings on his planet. Like now they're taking that away, and he's going to be like on minus 500 Unity most likely, and never getting anything done.
He'll either learn quick or quit the game for a while. Probably the latter, knowing King.
Yeah. But I don't blame him in all honesty, because his playstyle, like... Oh, it's beautiful. Wait, sorry. I need to... that's a good look at this.
Yep.
So. Discovered hell. Scientist Glob, on board of the science blah blah blah, has made a horrific discovery on this planet's name, what I can't read. The whole planet's in, what's it called? Basically, the whole planet's covered in skeleton spiderwebs and the giant spiders running around. And,
God,
yeah.
No,
yeah, and like, I'm looking at this planet and I'm going to make it a resort world.
Hey, welcome to hell!
It's going to be beautiful.
The thing I started with has all my building slots unlocked on that.
Ooh, what did you start with?
I'm a robot that I picked divided by 0. It's something, and 20.
So it's most likely the most broken thing in the game. If 20's found it, it's probably broken. Nah. See, this is really bad. Like, I'm pretty sure I have more hours in this game than you. But yet, when it comes to robots, I'm literally like, don't ask me!
So, constructed bot divided by 0. Fleet tactics. So it gives more firing. Has to be my origin. Resource consolidation. Mentioned resource consolidation. In a couple weekends. Were you thinking the weekend after next weekend, or just next weekend?
That's when I was planning it. It's just, what's it called? It is work. It depends on what my work does. Like.
Okay, so
if
in
not
7
work.
weekends from now, we are going to be having a public unmodded game to just try and get more members to our modded Discord.
And to enjoy fun space game. You know what? I'm going to actually call a meeting at some point. Should we make that our logo, Funny Space Game? Should that just be now our logo?
I mean,
Oh!
could be the motto.
So, I found a black hole. I didn't find a worm first. I found this other worm. This other worm did not like my science ship. It gobbled it up. This is the fake worm. We must kill the fake worm.
Fake news. Terrible fake news. Eventually, you'll hear all of my terrible impersonations chat over the hopefully many years I plan on streaming. But that was my terrible Donald Trump. Who ghost calls
What you mean?
God ever.
He will come back to save the Americans, don't you worry.
Yeah, so I think he's cute in disguise. You know, posting propaganda about how the God Emperor will return in August. I think that's best.
Yeah, but see, you have to look at it from my aspect. Like, since he's been gone, there's literally nothing on the news. Like, it's like I had a reality TV show for free where I didn't have to pay for cable, literally for that lovely time, and now it's cut short. And I'm like, well, what about season 2? Like, what could possibly go wrong, right?
For context, your ghost is in England, so he doesn't really care about, you know, the tragedies of America. He just finds them amusing.
Like I said, I can actually bring out a historical fact. Like, yes, our methods might have been a bit rude, let's say, but when the United Kingdom literally controlled the whole world, it was a peaceful, stable time in the world. Now you're all independent, we have COVID, we have crazy president, we have war. See, the world would just be better.
You know, I should be arguing with you because I'm like the angel on your shoulder. But in this case, it's hard to argue with that.
And that shows you how bad of times we're sitting right now when someone's like, you know what, I can't actually argue with that.
Yeah, if my grandchildren watch this in 50 years, this is what I'll point to when I say this is what happened in 2020, 2021.
No, it's like gonna be like when your grandkids turn around, it's like, so, or your kids or your grandkids going, Daddy, so what did you actually do through the great pandemic? And you're just going to look at their YouTube channel and be like, this, and slap it in front of them and just...
Hundreds of hours of funny space game. And
yes.
maybe funny Roman game. Kane made me get Total War Rome 2. So I'll probably do separate streams with him on that. And if you ever get Crusader Kings 3, we will do funny medieval I'm seducing your wife or husband game. Eugenics the video game.
Yeah, you should not be encouraging a German to play eugenics game. Like, did you not learn history what happened last time we tried this?
Yeah, I'm trying to sell you on it. I thought that was like your thing. You can even declare people heretics.
Now that's more my thing. Like, let's face. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, so this was actually a brilliant like meme video. What's like like especially popular in the UK. It's like, should I be concerned about my son? And this mother walks into the room, and the kid's like in a 13th century knight outfit with a sword in one hand and a Bible in one hand, like kneeled down, and he's literally looking at his mum, and his mum's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And he's like, "I am preparing for the glorious Crusades," and it's literally like, no. Oh, the price of the costumes have gone up because of that meme. I love the fact that a simple meme or a simple trend online can actually cause the price of something to skyrocket.
Oh, yeah. So this world has melted ice caps, and its physics was 30%. So, okay,
See, so even if global warming does happen, it will give us more physics research. There's nothing to worry about.
yes, there's nothing wrong with all the polar bears and the elephants getting heated off the planet. You know, Elon Musk says he's gonna do the whole Jurassic Park thing and have dinosaurs come back.
Okay. How many times do we have to make it in movies? How many times do we have to teach people not to mess with Mother Nature? Because you might think you're smarter than her. She's had a lot longer, and last time we had people creating stuff, what were crazy people, that did not end too well. Like, these kind of things need to be done in a very controlled and safe, sanctioned place. Not some lunatic what literally can't even give his kids a proper name and then says, it's not, my children never asked to be born, and you're looking at the person like, and your point is? And like, that's what he left it at, and just walked off from that interview, and you're like, are we sure he's actually certified to be, like, outside and not locked up?
And yet you are booking a first-way ticket on his plane to Mars. So...
Yeah, because I can tell you what's going to happen. Okay, so he wants to say that he basically has this thing. It's like, oh, we can just, if you can't afford the tickets, we'll enslave you. And like, okay, yes, he has all the money and everything, but as soon as people establish the colony and people, like, it depends who goes up there and depends what their ideology, what their visions for the future are. Now, if the majority of the people on Mars all of a sudden have to go, oh, this is how we should run things, and Elon Musk is on the minority, and then tries to do anything, Elon Musk might find himself in going for a nice little walk, shall we say.
Yeah.
And like, you think about it, like,
before anyone knows.
oh yeah, it's like, what, like, okay, let's say like legitimately the colonies do rebel and like murder him. Like, what is the police going to build their own rocket to go to Mars, or is the people on Earth just going to be like, well, that happened? Like, I see it very. Yeah, I don't really think any country is willing to spend millions or even billions it would require to send people up there to go and arrest some people.
Yeah.
That would be very much like just like cleaning your hands from that and going, not our responsibility. Plus, why don't you want to go to Mars? It's a front row seat to watch the nuclear holocaust happen.
You know, but then we have to live like Matt Damon in The Martian. That movie where he's making, you know, potatoes out of some excrements. So, you know, I don't really want to do that, no.
See, as a farmer, I find that quite funny that you say that, because that's literally, okay, we don't use our own, because human is because we're carnivores, it's not so good. You can fertilize it with human excrement, but it's much better to use, what do you call it? A creature what is plant-based, what only eats plants.
Yeah.
Because that's just more nutritious for the plants. But
there's cows, but there's something, you know, really awkward about your own fertilizer.
But yeah, because I was about to say, like, the thing with it, with going to Mars, realistically, like, you have to think, the amount of infrastructure, like a load of people I've talked to this are like, oh, why does it take so long? Just send people up there, I'm like, and do what? When you send people there with no oxygen or no atmosphere, okay, yes, to anyone who wants to correct me, Mars has got atmosphere, but I'm talking about breathable atmosphere. You need to set up domes, you need to set up food sources, water sources, what's it called, accommodation, work areas, extraction sites, because Mars is full of resources. That's probably why all the juicy corporations are like, maybe we should invest in this just a little bit so we have some right to all the juicy stuff up there.
Yeah, you know, they aren't going to take over the world. Amazon, Elon Musk, all the other people. Through some cyberpunk stuff.
Oh, do you know it's the one thing that still makes me laugh to this day?
What?
So, I legitimately met a group of people, and like, they were so adamant, yeah? They're literally like, they literally turn around to me and it's like, they control everything, and I was like, what the hell? It's like, like Illuminati here. Like, no, don't get me wrong, yeah? So, there is factual evidence that Illuminati existed and they were a shadow type organization back in the past, yeah? Because in a load of ancient, what's it called, sites, you see their signal, symbol carved, and like secret meeting rooms and everything. But this was a long time ago. The problem with this whole idea with one single organization ruling the entire world behind like shadows and everything is you have the human error. Somebody will speak. Somebody will bring what's called evidence out and literally publish it. Like, this happens all the time. So like, the problem with that is any organization will always have leaks. It's a human, as long as you have humans in it. There's no way to counter it.
Yeah, and that's kind of why I don't think there are actually aliens or anything interesting at Area 51. Because one of our senile, crazy presidents would have, you know, indicated or let slip that yes, there are indeed aliens.
And so Area 51 is a test site for the American military.
Yep.
But here's the thing. So here's the one thing I love that no one's ever thought, yeah? So let's just go for this argument's sake. Just for argument's sake, there are alien spaceships in Area 50. The Americans have got alien spaceships, yeah?
Yep.
And you were aware that eventually that information would get leaked or someone would find out and then the people would want answers, but you want to keep it all secret. Now, here's the thing. When Americans think of aliens or something exciting what the government's hiding, they all rush to Area 51. But now, if I was a planner and I was planning this, I would make sure that every American knew that Area 51's where we keep all the dodgy stuff, and it's empty. It's like, it's basically a face. So all the attention is in this one area where nothing is, to keep the population like not knowing something or not being able to find it. So they're all focusing on this one place where there's nothing. Like, that's how I would do it. And I love the fact that a lot of people I meet like will turn around and go, no, that's impossible and stuff. I'm like, is it really? Do you really reckon that someone might have not planned that?
Yeah.
But no, I don't.
Our government was very nasty throughout the generations.
I don't know what you mean. It was all lovely hugs and rainbows. That's what it says in my Creighton book. I'm sorry, I love that so much. It's actually like, you know when you get like, certain people will just argue no matter what, like even if you give up and like, oh yeah, you're right, they will just find something to argue you with.
Oh yeah.
So I always turn around and when I meet people like that, I'm kind of like a bit of a meme. I just like, but my crayon book says this, and you just see it like tearing away at them, and it's like, I wonder how long it will take him that to realize that I'm taking the mick out of him.
Yeah. You see the life kind of drain from his eyes. Or her eyes.
Carol, what are you doing? My scientist has disappeared.
Oh no. Oh, did you have Wanderlust?
No. Just some random event at a planet. She apparently went down to the planet and Carol's gone. And has not returned. It's like, god damn it.
That's not terrifying at all. I am not scared.
Just remember, boys and girls, in the in the depths of space, no one can hear you scream.
Yep. Nobody hears you scream.
Yeah, but actually with nowadays society, I've legitimately watched so many horror videos where literally this person's like screaming because someone's injured or someone's being kidnapped or there's a fire, and you just see people just walk straight past these people like totally oblivious, and you're like sat there like, I'm pretty sure once upon a time we used to act on things. But apparently no more. So, you want to know one law what got changed in the UK, what was a huge problem for us?
What?
Photography.
What about it?
So, this creepy guy found a loophole in the system. So if he got permission from let's say your neighbor, to climb on his roof for whatever reason, and the neighbor gives the permission, yeah? And he has his camera and he takes pictures of you when you're like in a shower because he's climbed on the roof to do so. It's perfectly legal. That used to be actually like a thing. Like because what's it called? You didn't close your curtains or anything. Now because this guy did it, and let's say the husband of the lovely woman who was in the shower might have used slightly more than words to illustrate his anger at the man.
No.
And then they changed it. I know, it's a shock. Why would he have to use violence? Words would have been there. I'm sorry, I agree with that man. If I literally turn around and put someone taking pictures of my partner, it's like, okay, words will no longer do. You're going to the hospital, one way or the other.
I kind of feel like an arrest should have been made too, in that instance, you know.
Oh yeah, the guy was arrested.
Very illegal.
He was arrested, then he thought the point that he had permission and the blinds weren't shut so it wasn't actually perving. And then they used some like lawyer like bull crap to basically go around it, and it went round and round in a circle, and then instead of to try to prosecute him like that, the judge informed, I don't know how the system works, but informed someone, and then they changed this, and then they got the laws changed, and then they done him on the new laws instead of the old ones. And I was literally sat there like, it's like, really? Like, okay, I know we have laws for a reason to say what's acceptable or not, but there are certain things in life what you shouldn't have to have a law. Like that saddens me about society. There's certain things what you shouldn't require a law to tell people not to do this. But there definitely should be a law to make people go to church more often. That I agree with. Because we got to worship the God Emperor, you know.
Well, the thing is, they would try to heal me every weekend. And whenever I came back the next weekend not healed, I would just be a disappointment to the church. Every weekend. It'd be a very, sad day. Very depressed. All the church.
See, here's so in the Warhammer like God Emperor like thing, they wouldn't do that, but like this shows you like how like dark the far future is. Like legitimately, every person has its use. Like the Imperium of Man wastes no person. Like so, in a way, the Imperium of Man is like a perfect, like what's the word I'm looking for? Let me accumulate my words. Like a perfect society where every person is valued in the loosest, valued in the loosest interpretation, because they will find a use for you. You will become useful one way or the other, and it's literally that like depravity where you're literally like, wait a second, what? It's like, oh no.
That's terrifying.
Oh yeah, like as much as I love that franchise, I would not want to live in it.
Yeah, there are franchises I would want to live in, but that is not one.
Yeah, you would love to live in Mass Effect.
Yes, for my space waifu. And not the weird spider creatures that you love.
I'm not going to lie. I might actually pay someone a mod that I can like deliberately infest people's planets by invading them and then releasing the arachnic so that planet gets that modifier. just like totally unrelated. That would just be totally. That would literally be that mod would only be relevant to like people who know me and me. That's it. Just so I can just literally like release the arachnids. Like, look at them. They're adorable. They have 2 little pincers. Look at their big gloomy eyes.
No, not looking. Aren't looking.
See, here's a funny thing. I used to be arachnophobia. I used to suffer from it like hugely.
Yeah.
Now, I think I've told you this before, but like legitimately, how I got over the fear was brilliant. Got what's it called? Stripped of my underwear, laid in a bathtub. My friends collected spiders and then poured it on me. And I literally, the only thing I was thinking about was not to squash any of them or kill any of them. And that's how I got over my fear of them. And Krogan sat here right now, like, no.
I'm
Get the
questioning your
flamethrower.
friends and how you use the term friend with those people. That doesn't seem very friendly, if you ask me.
Yeah, but I asked them to do that for me.
Yeah, now I'm questioning whether you should come over. Because, no.
Yeah, but look at a good thing. Now, if you see a spider, I can just pick it up and throw it outside.
Yeah, but I can't even. So, like, you know. Maybe that wouldn't be as
Okay.
good idea.
I get what you're trying to say now. Now, right, I know I'm a big memer and everything, but there's a massive difference between memeing somebody and maybe trying to give them a heart attack.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, okay, there's a massive okay, so this is the thing. It's like, we had this lady who unfortunately saw what we were doing, and one of my very old friends from Germany is absolutely claustrophobic, has claustrophobia or however you say it, yeah?
Yep.
And remember that his best friend, what's also one of my friends, they were literally born in the same hospital, ended up spending literally like a week in the same room and live next door to each other.
Huh. Okay.
Known each other pretty much since the start. Now, we were pranking him, and he literally grabs him, throws him in a bag, we do up the bag, and literally as we're picking up this bag, this elderly lady's just looking at us, literally just kidnapping my little friend. And we're literally sat there like, I know this looks really, really bad at this moment, but trust me, this is a prank. We are not abducting.
I'm wondering how many streams it'll take before you get a visit from the British police saying you admitted to something on camera, or on recording.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing. This is why another thing is like, with, sorry to pick on Americans, but it tends to be mostly Americans.
Yes.
Like this, like, oh, Big Brother, they're all watching us. It's like, yeah, I know they're all watching us through the phones and all our IT shit, but like, my grandma always taught me a golden rule. If you are truly innocent in life, and you have done no wrong, what have you got to hide? And that's how I live. So like, even like with streams, it's like, well, I know myself, I haven't done anything wrong.
Very true.
Oh my god. You know that moment, so I got 6 technologies and I wanted all 6. And it's like, choose one. It's like, but I want all 6. And the game's like, but you can only choose one. And I'm sitting there looking at the game going, but I want all 6. Like being a massive child, like, but I want all 6. I don't just want one.
You'd be proud of me. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 science ships then.
I am so proud of you. Like, normally you have 2, and I'm like, Krogan, where are you in this game? And like, oh no, like, King does my nightmare. King will literally expand all the way, like, from across, he could be on the other side of the galaxy. His borders will be touching mine. And he's like, but I don't have any good star systems or good planets. I send a science ship to where he started. I'm like, King, there's a system with 5 planets, and 3 of them are size 25 size, so... care to explain how you don't have any good planets? He's like, oh, I haven't surveyed them yet. I'm like, build more science ships. Like, it's not that difficult. You go to your station.
just discussing my food arrangement.
Ooh, what are you having today?
A cheeseburger.
Ooh, very American.
I mean, it is
Oh, no.
day.
See, this is the one thing I am looking forward to getting into America. Like, it's going to be so weird for, like, all my American friends who are used to, like, their portion side and me going, I would like a small, please. And they're looking at me like, why are you ordering a small? Because I'm like, your small is, like, our, like, large/XL. Yeah.
I mean, but don't do that at Starbucks. Because Starbucks will be, they'll get you the wrong thing, I think. They're small, it's weird. I think it's like the
It's probably because
yeah, my mother says grande.
As tempting as it was to do that event where I could get an AI to be my vassal, and I was like, I could just lie to them with this event, but I need to roleplay my isolationist, so I was like, nope, go away, we do not care about you.
Would that
Because
even work with the mod? I don't know if that would work.
Sorry?
Would you be allowed to keep that vassal?
It's like when what's it called? If a primitive uplifts, because of my actions, what you can only do as isolationist through an event, it would give you a vassal, but it automatically turns it into a tribute. You can only own tributes.
Okay.
And I tell you something else.
Yeah.
What I find always quite amusing. With this mod, I have had so many new events. Like, this is the thing. The one thing I will give credit to the designers of this game is, as long as I've played this game, even if I take all the mods off, I still come across new events that I've never ever had.
Part of that is probably
So for
the mod list is always, unfortunately, changing.
Oh no, I'm saying if I take mods away, like even when I play a vanilla game, I still get mods where I'm like, what the hell is this? So for playability, this game is like one of the best because there are so many options. The only thing I can sit here all day saying, oh, they should do this better in the game, this better in this, but the one thing I do want them, fix your end game. I am literally going to end up getting a seizure if every single time I load up this game, it's just going to literally be like, unbidden. It's like, I get it. The unbidden really likes me like as much as the worm, but could you like not?
That's just bad patching.
So what you're saying is find the person responsible for this and burn the heretic?
No, that is not what I'm saying. Remember, if anyone ends up watching this in the future, I do not endorse violence. You know, just like your grandmother write a strongly worded memo to Paradox. Yeah, what happened to that? I thought that's what we were doing.
Yeah, that's what we did do. I'm just joking. See, as much as it is big funny burning the heretics, there's something called the law, and the law says burning the heretics is apparently a big no-no.
I didn't know you followed the law. This is
Oh, I do.
surprise.
You little fucker. I followed the law. See, here's the great thing living in a proper democracy. You can believe pretty much anything. You can literally believe whatever you want, as long as you follow the law of the land. It's very simple. And because we live in a democracy, like for example, if I want to, burn the heretics, unless the majority, and it has to be an absolute vast majority, of people all of a sudden decide, hey, this is a great idea, let's make this legal. what's never going to happen. I know.
Yeah, and for very good reason.
Luckily for the world, there's enough sane people at the moment to stop anyone from doing that.
Yeah,
Don't worry about the
I
future.
worry that America is going to become like the Purge, the Forever Purge. It's not actually a fiction movie. It's just what life is going to be like in 2022 or 2023. That is my prediction.
So actually, while we're on the topic, so I was listening to one of my friends who was studying psychology, and specifically human psychology.
Yeah.
And it's, what's it? I think you've done a bit of it. It's the one where it's like, if you go advanced enough in there and get a degree, you can help the police. Like, it's like when you try thinking like the criminals and everything.
Psychology, yeah. And sociology.
And like he's got that, what's it called? Even though he's in the UK, do you remember that guy what shot up like a party area? And like in his video, he was saying, "It's not my fault; it's the women's fault for not loving me."
No, but there have been many shootings as of late.
Yeah.
Here, you kind of have to narrow
Right.
it down, unfortunately.
No, so this was like about, I would say about 3 years ago. And literally, like, this is the one thing, like, I was actually looking at it, like, when I was talking to him, I was like, surely can't there be a case that this guy has absolutely, like, lost his mind, like, without doubt. Because it was just a simple fact that, like, as bad as murder is and everything, yeah, like, the first thing, like, we emotionally react to it because we are creatures with empathy and emotions. But, like, then after that, you need to look at it and go, okay, why? Once you understand why someone does something, you can then try fixing it and stop it happening ever again. That's why to these very clever people that go to universities, learn about psychology, and then take up the job to try figuring that out. Now, but it's like, here's the worrying thing, what was it? So this whole incident could have been totally avoided. Absolutely avoided, yeah?
Yeah.
There's only 3 things, like, okay, this is not the full diagnosis, disclaimer, I'm not a certified person, but what my friend was telling me and what we discussed about it, there was like 3 things that we saw, what was like, not justification, but causes how this could have happened. One is a society thing. It is like, if you say mental health or this person's crazy or anything, it's that, like I told you about in Sweden or one of the Nordic countries where you're allowed to own guns, if you go mentally insane, your mental health gets worse because of a divorce or anything, a lot of them will go to the local police station and hand over their guns because they know that they're having like bad thoughts or they are low in their life. Because when they do it, the guns doesn't get taken away. It's when they get better, they get given back their guns. And it's because their society is so accepting and supportive of this that it kind of works very well. And they have very few incidents actually with like mental health people doing crazy stuff. And
not like America, who's just full
because he was posting this online before the attack, like, not what he was going to do, but like his ideas, like, it's the women's fault for not loving me, why I have so much hatred and everything. His parents also admitted that they were fully aware that he thought like this. So the question comes down, it's like, any parent loves their child, but like I said, sometimes you have to make choices in life what aren't very pleasant. And like, if they spoke out to somebody, yes, the kid would have been taken away and put into psychiatric help. But like I say, I respect anyone, like, hand over heart. If someone turns around and goes, lock me up or put me in this facility, I have bad thoughts or I'm fucked up right now. Because and like, even if it's his family what gets him into it to get him the help, because if you don't commit a crime and you hand yourself over, there's, like, I can't speak for America, but in the UK there's a very high chance that you will live a fully normal life. Like, yes, this is like,
Yeah.
we have a little bit of a stigma, but we're slowly shifting in the right way in the UK. But there will be checklists on you.
Here. Like, we don't have insurance. And,
Sorry?
or, like, our healthcare insurance policies are really bad, and so none of the mentally ill people can afford to go see therapists. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's another thing. It's like, that comes down to then the problem is like, if these people can't get help, they are going to blow up. Like, that's the problem. It's like, and it's because like, it's like, for example, when me and my friend were having drinks at what's it called? Luckily, I only had one beer, but what's it called? We were sat there. I had my beer. We were laughing. He was absolutely drunk. He had his girlfriend at the time there, and so I was not aware of this. And he's been putting it off like, oh, it's fine. She's only jesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
And she went upstairs. And then all of a sudden, the last thing she said to us was like, I wish you loved me more, and then literally walked up, and I was looking at her and looking at him. And we both looked at each other and goes, wait, what's in the bathroom? We had to kick down the door, and you know, like those country western shavers?
Oh, God.
Like that one blade. She cut her wrist up, and I'll never forget it because there's blood everywhere and everything. Anyway, we got her in the car and everything, yeah?
Yeah.
Now, straight away, like, that is... luckily she's fine. There's no major impact. Luckily she only cut, what's it called? She didn't cut her actual vessel. She only cut the muscles and tendons.
Yeah.
Anyway, she's got the help she needed, and now she's a perfectly fine, sane person walking around. See, just by having those networks and being able to rehabilitate people,
Right.
like, if you think about it, if she couldn't get access to the care, well, I can't, as a friend, yes, I would always wish the best, but life, I can't spend every day watching after a friend, and
Yeah.
so it's just, then it turns into not a question of, oh, what's going to happen, then it turns into a question, when is it going to happen? Like, that's the thing why having a system that's robust enough to take care of everyone is so crucial, because if not, it's only a question of when, not if it's going to happen, it's when is it going to happen.
Well, and our gun epidemic here in America is like a perfect, example of that.
See, here's the thing, like, okay, I'll be honest, I am pro-gun, yeah? But let me finish. Here's the thing I never understood. Like, if you said to me, people can probably, what's called, quote the absolute, the Second Amendment, but it's like, every American citizen has the right to bear arms.
Yep.
Yeah? As a European, I would turn around and say that's a bolt-action rifle, some kind of shotgun, and some kind of self-loading pistol.
Yeah.
And here's the other thing, like, I might actually end up migrating to America in the future, but here's the thing, even if I had all the weapons...
Don't do that.
Oh, I'm full of all the good ideas. It will be fine. Anyway, here's the thing. I don't get. Like, I really don't get. It's like, if you ever pick up a gun and you pick up that gun in hatred and anguish, you've already failed yourself. Just education's also needed, and like discipline, because a gun should only ever be used as an absolute last resort.
Oh yeah.
If there's, and it's only like, what's it called? A gun should only be used.
Problems or, everyday problems either. Like a last resort in terms of your life is being threatened.
And the problem, like the hard thing with America, is because it's in the Constitution that every person has the right to bear arms. It makes it very hard to license it. Like in the UK, you need to go through background checks. You need to have so many checks before you can own a gun. And like any semi-automatic, like you can own semi-automatic and even fully automatic, but you can never take them home. They will be locked up by a station, by a shooting range, and you can use it at the shooting range, but you can never take it anywhere else.
Probably a good idea.
Plus, also, like, our climate really doesn't, like, even if you're a hunter, like I love going hunting, you only need a bolt-action rifle for that.
Oh yeah.
Like you don't, like we're quite lucky. Okay, in some parts of America, I could understand semi-automatics because when you have big, scary grizzly bear running at you when you're going for your picnic and it's crawling at you, yeah, I'd rather have a bit bigger thing to make sure scary grizzly bear doesn't have its supper tonight.
Well,
in the UK.
There, and you're a skilled huntsman. You should know where to shoot the thing with your shotgun, so that you don't need waste bullets.
Yeah, no.
Spraying it.
No, but I'm not saying like city folk. I'm like saying people who literally live in the middle of nowhere in bear country. Like if they had like a semi-automatic assault rifle for protecting their home because they literally live in the middle of nowhere with wolves and grizzly bears, then okay. Yes, like you said, like because I come from Germany, like the Huntmaster, like in Germany we have wild bulls, well basically pigs with horns, and they're very dangerous.
Yeah.
And Huntmasters, we normally kill them with a bolt-action rifle, but you can't expect every person to be an absolute marksman. It's like if someone lives in like there's not whole of them there.
Out in the countryside, like that's probably a skill you have to learn.
You'd be surprised. A lot of people in the countryside, like I met in the UK, have really bad aim, like, and they don't tend to use guns at all. So then it comes down to, well, I guess accessibility and use of it.
Yeah.
But still, like, even in what's it called? Like, if I come to America, here's another funny thing I love, and it was given out by your secrets. It's either the Pentagon or the CIA, one of them two. Yeah. And I think it was in 2017 that when they looked at... Wait, what the hell? Oh, that's new. Give me a second. I need to do some changes quickly because they're being funny. No, because like... If you look at it, and I'll find it for you, but basically it was like, for all the shootings, what were not stopped by the American police or special services, the citizens who stopped the shooting were not carrying a gun.
Yeah.
So like it was something 80%, so it was over 80% of all the shootings what were stopped by a normal person, they were not carrying a gun. So the question comes, like, when people argue, but we need the gun to stop the bad guy. Well, yes, but then also no, because the majority of the bad guys get stopped by someone who's not even carrying a gun. So how could you use that as a valid argument when it's being proven by your own sources? So this is not even an external country saying this. This is literally the own American, like, services records going, that's not true. People with guns don't stop other people with guns.
Well, not just that, the reverse is also kind of true. We just had I don't think the mic picked my mom up, but we just had a thing where a guy that also had a gun in the middle of a shooting was trying to stop the shooting, and the cops shot the guy trying to stop it, and not the first shooting.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because how, like, in the cops' defense, how are they supposed to know that you're a good guy trying to stop the shootings instead of another armed assailant? Like,
it's not a great idea.
It really comes down, like, it's quite a personal matter for me, because, like, you know, one of my friends got, literally, when all the riotings were happening, he was getting, literally, just going to the shop and got shot. Innocent random bystander got shot, and it's actually like, it's sat there going, like, it's hard because of how the amendments are written, and also, like, human nature is very simple. Humans don't like giving up things that they already have. Like, try taking anything from a human, they're like, it's mine. It's like, but you don't need this, and we decided this. It's like, but it's mine. It's like, it's actually that simple. It's like, but it's mine, so...
Well, and not just that, American culture in general is kind of washed in violence and gun ownership.
But, like,
all that.
See, I sit in a very, like, different... Like, I'm not even saying get rid of the guns. Like, I think guns are great, personally, myself. But what I do reckon is there should be a background check, making sure that you're sane enough to have a gun, and also culturally start teaching and like actually educating people. Like, I've watched so many Americans like on face cam or literally just just through videos where like they grab their gun and literally just launch like an assault rifle in the back of a car, loaded, and God knows if he's made it ready or not, and then they just drive off. And I'm literally like, if something goes wrong, that will shoot. Like, if your dog goes on it and grabs it, like, yes, the chances of this is very minute, but if it does happen, it does happen. And life has this funny thing where if you test the chance enough, eventually it's going to happen.
Well, we had a congresswoman who was doing some committee hearing, and she was on like Zoom, and like she had a giant collection of guns behind her, and they were just like on a bookshelf. They weren't like secured. The safeties were off, and she has little like 5-year-olds. It's like, oh, that is a great idea.
Wait, do you remember that story I told you a while back when I was on Xbox, where I literally heard a live gunshot come from my friend's TV?
I think so. Wasn't it like
so basically,
kids or something?
No, it was his kid. Like, he literally left a revolver on the table, a 45 revolver on the table. And literally, we're playing, PUBG, I think it was. And literally, we hear through his mic a real-life gunshot. I'll put my hands up. I did, like, twinkle a little bit, because I thought my friend literally just got shot in some kind of bad robbery or something. And I hear him swearing, and then there's, like, I hear his, like, wife or partner, like, screaming at him. And then he's literally screaming at, like, his, I think, like, 5 or 7-year-old kid, because the kid picked up the gun and shot. Luckily, no one was actually hurt. But I'm like, why would you leave a gun where, like, okay, like, no, like, you don't do that.
Well,
like, this is how bad things happen.
That situation.
And I guarantee you, there will be also the first people what will cry when something bad does happen. Like, how did this happen? It's like, maybe because you didn't follow basic safety rules.
But
like,
I don't
even in German,
believe you. They'd be like, no, of course, yes, a fluke.
oh no, this is the best one. So, I was sat, where was I? I was in some kind of cafe, I can't even remember its name. Yeah? And I legitimately heard the woman behind me literally just turned around and was like, oh, this and this is awful and awful. And then literally, like, remembering, like, you're in the cafe, so, like, I don't know, do you use the same term, but if, like, one of your friends, like me, because I get quite hyper and hypergetic, they say, Dylan, inside voice, and it's like, oh, quiet it down a bit. So, she was talking really loud, like, literally, we were on the other side of the cafe, and we were hearing everything she was talking about. And it's like, it came to our realization she was doing this deliberately to get, like, because she was talking about, like, very sensitive, like, topics. And then when some guy literally stood up and was, like, basically telling her to shut up, and then she was like, oh, I'm the victim and everything, and literally we were looking at her like, you do realize we heard the whole conversation, you were not discreet about this, you were the antagonizer here, so don't know what you're trying to pull up here. You know, if I had the power to change one law, I would change this one thing immediately. Any man has the godforsaken right that if somebody walks up to a woman with her baby and makes some stupid remark like, can you not shut it up, or tries doing any of that shit, that the man is allowed to have one free punch to punch the individual. And then everything else is illegal, but you're allowed to, literally every single man whatever he is allowed to punch that idiot. I would change that to be my first fucking law I change, like an immediate effect. Because that's the one thing what does grip me, especially like when you see a mother with a newborn and you see people like, can you not shut it up, and you're looking at it going, strange that baby humans cry. It's, do you know why they cry?
also, like, do they think the parents just love when their baby is crying? Do they think they not also want to keep it quiet?
Yeah, but no, that's also like, as much as that is like true, it's like that's not. It's like people forget. Like we're talking. What is talking? What's talking in its very basic sense? It's just vocal cord, voice, pitch, sound.
Yeah.
So we learned as we grew up that these sounds mean these things. A baby doesn't have that knowledge, so its only real way to communicate with anyone is through crying or laughing. And through time it will learn. But it's just like that ignorance where you're looking at people like, you do realize it's just a baby like trying to say to its mummy that something's wrong. It could be hungry, it could need a change of nappy. It might just be scared and it just might not like the place it's in. It could be something as simple as that. And it's like, people like always look at it as a negative, like, oh, like there's this like stigma, like if your baby's crying, you're a bad parent. It's like, no, it's not. Like that's so unscientific. That's literally the dumbest shit I've ever heard. And like that begs the question: did you ever go to school? Because it's literally the baby trying to communicate.
Now, if you're beating your child, then yes.
Okay, yeah.
You are.
Then you're absolutely bad parent. Like, here's the thing, though. Like, you have to look at it like it's like, okay, here's another one, and this is because I was raised like this, and like I realized not a lot of us were. You know when kids like start, especially like the babies, like they grab the cookery, like not the like knives and forks, but like the frying pans out from the bottom shelf, yeah, and they start playing with it and make noise. Parents normally like take it straight away and put it away, and it's like, no, you don't play with that and everything. As a kid, literally, children are the best scientists in the world because everything they want to experiment with. And it's like with eggs, yeah? Or anything delicate. So when I was, I don't remember this because I was too young, but I grabbed the eggs and like the babysitter tried taking the eggs away, and my grandparents were like, no, let him have the eggs. And literally my granddad grabbed one of the eggs, showed it me, and it's like, gave it to me in hand, it's like, drop it on the floor. So I literally turned around and apparently I dropped it, and I was amazed that the egg cracked. And then my granddad was explaining in the basic sense of a very young child why the egg cracked. It's like children are... Sorry?
It's an education.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, it's like when you give kids toys, like if the toy can be taken apart, there's a high chance that the kid will find a way to take it apart, because kids want to know how everything works. So how do you know how something works? Well, take it apart and find out how it works.
Well,
now this doesn't always guarantee that the kid can put it back together.
There's also things like Legos where kids actively rebuild stuff.
Oh yeah, Lego is such a great toy. Like, I love it, like, just when I'm playing with my little brothers and sisters, it's like, just grab my box of old Lego, tip it out, it's like, right, we're building. Occupies them for hours.
You're gonna love my house then. No, when I was a kid, I wanted Legos for Christmas. The latest Lego Star Wars thing. So all my family would get that every year. And now I'm older, so we don't do that anymore, but I have so many Lego sets of Star Wars that has to be ships hanging on the ceiling.
Now that's what I call a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
I approve.
First that my mom hated her sister getting with the Lego Death Star. And since I can't build it, I love the set. But it was like 3,000 pieces. So for 3 days, my mother had to build this Lego Death Star. She did not like her sister after that.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm absolutely sorry, but I would also, if I had like older siblings, that's something I would so do. I'd be like, look at this great present I bought, look at my siblings, like, have fun building this.
Yeah.
Oh, your sister just absolutely just looking at it like, please don't ever do this to me again.
Yeah.
Oh no, but so okay, this is another big funny what I had. Where I was actually like, are you actually being serious with me right now? So this person did not understand that when you like, okay, so there's certain courtesy things you do, yeah.
Yeah.
And I was brought up quite old-fashioned belief system. So when a lady comes on a train or on the bus and she has a massive, very circular belly and she looks very, very pregnant, it's normally considered manners, like even if she's my age, to get up and give her the seat because she's probably going to need it a lot more than. And I did that once, and this person turned around and was like, you're such a so-and-so, and I think he called me a simp. I'm looking at him.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the hell? He's like, well, why did you even give up your seat? And I'm literally looking at that person like, Jesus Christ, if I didn't give up the seat and my granddad was alive and the pregnant woman stood there, and my granddad saw that, he would beat the shit into me, and so rightfully so. It's actually like, I'm looking at him like, from my perspective, I'm like, because that is very normal and the right thing to do. It's just like the fact that this person was the same age as me was like, I would never give up my seat, don't care. And it's like,
Well, you're
what?
a terrible human being.
Yeah, like literally I'm sat there going, like, okay, so my granddad also, for a little bit of humour and the hatred of all women, turned around and was like, do you know why we're always so nice to women no matter what? And I was actually like, why? It's like, because if you ain't, the headache you have afterwards is not worth it, so just, and actually my grandma never approved of him saying it, but he used to wind her up with that. Good old times. But nah, like, I was just so shocked that there are actually people that wouldn't do it. It's like with elderly people, it's like, if I'm on a bus or train, sat down, elderly people stood up, I'll normally give my seat up for them.
Yeah, people over here in America are even worse. So, like, before the apocalypse at the end of days, I had to barricade myself in my house forever. We would go out to see movies and stuff, and, like, you'd be surprised by how many people are walking right in front of me in my wheelchair. They open the door to wherever we're going, and then they just let it close. Again, they don't hold it open, they just keep going, and the door shuts right in our face. It's, you know, people here in America are not very courteous.
See, here's another thing. So I had actually a really good question from, so luckily me and my friend were sat there, and his little brother and all his little hooligan friends, remember, they're like anywhere between like 11 to 14 years old.
Yeah.
And we turned around, it's like, you should always open the door for elderly, or actually just for anyone, but especially the elderly people. And one of his friends turned around and goes, why bother doing it? When you do it, you only get shouted at and everything. And then my friend, who is a more smarter with words than me, he turned around and was like, yeah, but that's, do you know what you do when that happens? And he was like, what? He turns around and goes, right, if you hold the door open and a lady or a gentleman shout at you, no matter who they are, turn around and apologize. Just say, I am sorry, I meant no offense. I only did this because I was taught it's a polite, mannerful thing to do. And like he turned around and said, immediately that person will be looked at by everyone and straight away feel very bad and realize that actually I'm in the wrong. He turned around and was like, you don't have to be like, literally just being courteous and stuff, you'll win because you are doing the right thing. Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
But no, it's like, I've met some, like, here's the other thing. That just surprises me because, like, all our movies, like, over here, like, in America, like, especially, like, in the community areas, like, they're all very mannerful, they're all very, like, what's it called, pro, like, community, so hearing, like, people not, like, keeping the door open, it's like, wait, what?
Well, yeah, like, you guys just don't want to get shot by us, by portraying us in our real life, that we keep for not, you know, painting a rose.
Oh no, we'd also take the piss out of American. Like, have you not seen the comedy flicks?
No, me and my mom usually watch the British crime shows, and they're usually way better than American crime shows.
See, here's the thing. Like, I had this like discussion with somebody before, and he was like, right, getting so-called. He turned around and was like, oh, but anyone who used the argument, get rid of the rifles and we'll get rid of a lot of crime. It's not true. He was like, in the UK, you have murderers too. And I was like, yes, but do you know what the big difference is? Our murderers compared to the Americans. So here's the thing. In an ideal world, no one should ever get murdered, but unfortunately life isn't fair. There is always going to be somebody what wants somebody dead. That's just unfortunate, but it's just a hard fact. The difference is, when everyone can get easy access to a gun, like, it's very easy to kill someone. He could just be carrying his gun for self-defense, get drunk one night, have an argument, pull it out in the argument, shoot somebody. Some kid who has a vendetta against somebody could just grab a gun. Stupid moment, does stupid thing, and it ends up with someone losing their life. In the UK, if someone's going to kill you, that means there's not a lot you can do to stop them, because it means that they will find a way no matter what you do. So it's just how you prevent not all murder, but it reduces it, because, well, and yes, some Americans probably, if they watch this video, are going to be like, oh, what happens about the knife crime? Yes, we have knife crime, but surprisingly, I think it's like over 80%, 70% of all victims of knife crime survive it. I would be very interested to see how many Americans survive gunshots.
Yeah, not just that, but the sheer number of people that get shot versus get stabbed.
Oh,
like, you can have
but
of like 40, 50 people.
Yeah, but then also, yeah, but Broken, you have to then also, like, okay, this is going to sound absolutely horrible, but you have to get the correct percentages, because one, okay, America has a larger population, so you're going to have a lot more dead people, simple as. So, I know this sounds very...
Like, I'm talking about, in an instance, like, a stabbing versus a school shooting. Right? Like,
oh,
so, yeah. In an instant where you're only armed with a knife, there are only physically so many people you can stab. Right? You can have a, giant ammo thing with 300 bullets and kill 40 people. Right? So that there is a disparity there.
I was about to say, you should be very careful, because I could just imagine someone watching this video going, challenge accepted! And run around with a knife. It's like, oh no.
Most people are not like you, Chef. They
I love how you
immediately jump to violence when we have these kinds of conversations.
Well, have I ever been violent, really? Actually, don't answer that. Wait a second.
Yeah, I don't want you arrested by the British police, so...
Oh, you don't have to worry about that. I've never broken the law. Actually, that's a lie. I've broken the law once, but I got caught doing it, and that was just me being a little...
You're digging a hole for yourself. I was trying to rescue you.
Oh, it's fine. I was caught by the police. It was me just spray painting, being an average rebellious youth.
Alright, so that is my lunch. So I'm gonna save this quickly. End the recording for now. If you want to come back to it, we can, or I can just do this on my own later.
Yep, it's a code. Enjoy your lunch and message me when you're done.
Okay, and for anyone watching, see you people in a bit.